you're planning a trip to Ireland and you are thinking about going for maybe a longer period of time and thinking about going to other cities than just say Dublin, you might want to rent a car so you can see the countryside. And that's a really good idea. That's what me and my wife did. But there are a few things you should definitely know about renting a car before you make that decision. The first thing you need to know about renting a car in Ireland is that they drive on the other side of the road than if you're in the United States. This is very simple, but it is something you have to get used to and something to keep in mind. The next thing I would say is that a lot of cars in Ireland are manual transmission. So you need to make sure when you're making your booking that if you don't know how to drive a manual transmission, that you're really only selecting an automatic car, because if you're going for the cheapest option, there's a good chance it might be a manual transmission. So while a lot of people think about driving through Ireland and seeing all the green fields and just green as far as your eye can see, for a lot of parts that is true, but the driving conditions are a lot different than they are in the United States. So when you're outside of the cities and you're in the middle of the country or in a very rural area, the roads get pretty tight, and I was not prepared for that. In America, you have like a shoulder that you could pull off to. If there's just you and one other car coming down the road, there's always plenty of room most of the time. In Ireland, that's not really the case. My wife wanted to go on a hike, and to get there, we were taking basically a one-lane road, and there was traffic coming both ways. So that was not exactly something that I had anticipated, but something that you might want to be prepared for, especially if you're trying to get off the beaten path and see some sights of Ireland that maybe aren't as touristy as others. One major thing to consider is the car insurance at the rental car agency. A lot of times in America, if you have certain credit cards, you can just waive that and your credit card will cover it and it will be sufficient. Ireland is a little bit different because of the driving conditions that I talked about earlier. A lot of cards won't cover it in Ireland. Luckily, the card that I had, it did cover it, but I had to go on and get basically a letter from the credit card company saying that they would cover damages in Ireland. So just make sure you check with your specific credit card company and make sure that that's something that they offer, and have that letter printed out before you get there, just so you can show it to them, because the place that I rented from did ask for it and really didn't want me to waive it until I showed it to them, because like I said, the driving conditions are a little bit different and it's going to be a lot easier to mess up your car. So you just want to make sure you're covered so you don't have an unexpected bill on your way home. So while these are a lot of things to consider, I don't want it to deter you from renting a car in Ireland. My wife and I, we were able to see multiple cities, do things that we wouldn't have been able to do without a car, and it really made our experience that much better. Ireland is a beautiful place, and there's so much to see, and it's not all right together. So renting a car is a great idea, but I just want you to be prepared before you do it.